Welcome to Baltimore, young man. This guy now an Oriole. This guy was an Oriole for just about 72 hours. Is there an ace on the way now? Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. This is what we're chasing, of course, another World Series for the Birds and a major move today. Subscribe, like, let's get to 1,000 subscribers. We would love to see that. You'll stay up to date with all of the Orioles news and all of the analysis. And again, you may know me from television. You may know me from the Howard Stern Show. You may know me simply as an avid Orioles fan, which I am. Let's get to the very big news. He's already in an Orioles uniform. The Orioles have signed Ramon Laureano. You're looking at him, 1 year, $4 million contract. He was released, he's an outfielder, released by the Guardians after he kind of started slow in 2024. We're going to get to his numbers in just a moment. But essentially, he then really heated up with the Braves later in the season, hitting .296, 10 homers. This is a guy who can hit. This is a guy who has some speed. He hits the ball really hard. In exchange, so the Orioles sign Laureano, and in exchange, they release Luis Vazquez, the guy who was just picked up a few days ago from the Chicago Cubs. He too, a very speedy young man, a very speedy prospect. But again, the big news, Ramon Laureano to the Orioles, 1 year, $4 million, yet another move in what has been probably the busiest yet quietest offseason the Orioles have ever had. I will explain in a moment. Let's look at Ramon's stats last year. 11 homers, 33 RBIs, 15 walks, as you can see, 74 hits. He has a handful of steals. He does strike out, as you can see. He has that .437 slugging and caught stealing 3 times. Ramon Laureano. Now, 1 year, $4 million. Obviously, a short-term contract, needless to say. Obviously, the O's didn't have to do that much to make room for him on the roster, of course. And so, still the question is, now Laureano is here, Vazquez is gone. Are the Orioles loading up so that they can part with some players and get an ace on the staff? What do you think? Comment right now. Is this another Mike Elias move of the chess piece? Because there's been a lot this offseason, and I really want to go through them, frankly, because Laureano is just the latest acquisition. And that's the thing. The Orioles have made a lot of moves. Tyler O'Neill, is an Oriole. Dylan Carlson is an Oriole. Gary Sanchez is an Oriole. Tomoyuki Sagano is an Oriole. Where's Charlie Morton? I know he's in here somewhere. There he is. Charlie Morton is an Oriole to shore up the middle part of that rotation. So when taken in totality, and we didn't even show Andrew Kittredge, an Oriole as well. So think about it. Now, Ramon Laureano, Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, Gary Sanchez, Charlie Morton, Tomoyuki Sagano, Andrew Kittredge. 7 additions in the offseason, and yet everybody's saying the Orioles haven't made a splash. They haven't made that big splash, but apparently the chess pieces are moving. Mike Elias is moving the pieces into place to see what he can put together, I believe, as a package for a trade. Because think about it for a second. I want to go back to Tyler O'Neill. Let's just think about this, folks, for a second. Think about the Orioles outfield. It's crowded now. It is crowded. So you have Tyler O'Neill, definitely a starter in the middle of the lineup, your cleanup hitter. You have Colton Cowser. You have Cedric Mullins. You have Dylan Carlson, as we mentioned. You have Heston Kjerstad. Daz Cameron is still on the 40-man roster. We'll see how that develops. But just that right there is a busy outfield, and that doesn't even take into account some of the other prospects on the farm that can play outfield, some of the utility guys who can play outfield. So this is a crowded outfield. So we have to ask the question, what does this Ramon Laureano pickup, this free agent signing, what does it really mean? So obviously it means we dropped Luis Vasquez. Okay, put that aside. But does this mean that behind the scenes, Mike Elias is putting together a package for an ace? And who do you think that ace might be? Who do you want that ace to be? Let's pretend that this move is, because I don't see a scenario whereby we sign Laureano and don't play him, okay? This guy hit the ball harder last year than he ever has before. Average exit velocity, I'm looking at it, 89.2 miles per hour last year, his highest mark since 2019. His .430 expected slugging, highest since 2021. With men on base, get this, with men on base, Laureano hit .308 with an .821 OPS between playing with Cleveland and Atlanta. This isn't a guy that's going to sit. This is a guy that's going to play. So who isn't going to play? Is this a play to use Heston Kjerstad in a trade to get an ace? Pretend that it is, friends. Who do you want? Do you want Jack Flaherty? Do you want Luis Castillo? Do you want Michael King and Jason Adam? Who do you want? Tell me in the comments, who do you want? The news of the day, Ramon Laureano, 1 year, $4 million. Luis Vasquez is out of here. He is not a bird. Stay tuned, because I'm telling you, we're getting close to spring training. That doesn't mean anything, though. Remember when Corbin Burnes was signed at the very last? The same thing will happen this year. Like, subscribe, Orioles Digest. I'm Jon Leiberman. See you again soon.